Hello everyone, this is Orlando from A Collector's Dream. And now that things have settled in after the National, and I did a long, almost an hour long video on my pickups, I just think that I need to do just a quick, short pickup video, you know, without all the stories and all that. So, because sometimes I understand, even though after my video, I thought, man, nobody's gonna do a video as long as me. And other people have done videos that are like, you know, 40, 50 minutes, an hour long also. So that's how good it was. That's how nice the National was. So I'm gonna do a quick pickup video just to kind of re-show all the pickups that I got. I basically picked up 10 cards. That's what I'm counting right here. 10 cards, 5 baseball related, 2 football, 2 non-sports, and a boxing. So let's show off the bigger pickups, which really were the baseball ones. And one of my nice pickups that I got this in a little holder. This is one of the holders for booklets. I didn't know how I was gonna get this because I bought it raw, and I was so scared that I would crease it or something. But I'll give you a good look at that Willie Mays Hires root beer with the tab. Just never see it with the tab. I mean, this is off-centered, but it doesn't really matter. Look at the corners on that thing. Corners are super sharp. The whole tab is intact. You see that? And it tells you, you know, Hires root beer. So what happened with this was people would put 10 cents, just paste 10 cents to the Hires bottle cap picture on the reverse side and send it with 2 Hires bottle caps. And you would get a book, How to Play Baseball, membership card, and probably some other stuff that they would give you. But I just think that it was a great find. You know, I kind of try to find things that, I was looking for other Willie Mays card. I would have loved to get the 53 tops, but you know, I can get that anytime. This is a much tougher one, especially with the tab, and it's from 1958. So it's a beautiful picture of Willie. Let's see if we can give you a good look at it. You know, I'm going to go ahead and just give you a good look at Willie. Just a beautiful card. You can see him in the background. The background there looks like he's in a batting cage or something there, but it's from 1958. Just a beautiful card. You can see joining the Hires Root Beer Club today. And in the back, this was literally inserted into the 6-pack of Hires Root Beer. So, you know, it had a little handle, 6 bottles just like this, you know, of Hires root beer, and this thing would be stuck in the thing. The tab would be inside, and then you'd see the card. The parents would buy it, and it tells you all the information on Willie back here. It says given away with the purchase of Hires only, and then, you know, it tells you all the information there, number 25, and then you'd paste a dime over here, and then you send it to this. You put your name and address, and you'd send it in, and you would get a book. You would get a baseball book on how to play baseball. So that's why this is so tough to find, because almost all of these were sent in, and this one is just, I mean, you can see it wasn't even, you know, bent or anything. Usually it's torn off or cut off. This one was just beautiful. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna get that. So it's off-centered, doesn't really matter. It's just a tough piece. When you get a piece that's kind of tough to find, you know, probably won't have another chance of getting something like that again. So I got that. And the other thing that I got was I was looking for a Walter Johnson card, and I was hoping to get a, you know, some type of, either, I wasn't gonna get the Ramley, but you know, either a T206 card or a, or it's just something, a nice card of Walter Johnson. And there were a lot of choices, and I was looking initially, but when I saw this, that came out of somebody's collection. I said, this is the one for me, and I got to go for it. This is a one of a kind. It's a photograph of Walter Johnson, and it's autograph. You can see it's PSA DNA certified, authentic auto of Walter Johnson. And, you know, I'm looking into the history of it, but my understanding, what I was told, is that this came from the album, from Walter Johnson's personal collection. You can see it was pasted on an album there. You can see it's an original photo. So it's a one-of-a-kind piece. Apparently it was kind of pulled off the album here. And you can see it has the album mounts. Sometimes they would put things with little mounts. And you could also tell it's not a professional photo because they cut off Walter Johnson's head. So either his wife or family or somebody took this picture. It wasn't a common photo for sure, but it's an original photo. And again, it looks like it came from from a family album out in a farm somewhere. And it has a beautiful autograph of Walter Johnson. It says, "Best wishes, Walter Johnson." So, I mean, you know, you could speculate on this, on how and where and how it came to, but, you know, I showed it to Dave Blue Jacket, and, you know, and he said that, it says best wishes, so probably this was given to somebody by Walter Johnson. So, you know, who knows? I mean, I've been thinking about it, and, you know, it's always a story, and, I mean, if I were to guess on the story on this picture, from what I know, it probably did come from the family album of Walter Johnson. I was told by Al, Love of the Game Auction, that years ago they did sell some of this stuff from the family. Maybe what happened, in my opinion, is Walter Johnson probably looked at this. Somebody maybe asked him for an autograph picture. He looked through the album. He probably found this one that had kind of his head chopped off and said, not too great of a picture. I'm gonna go ahead and give this to my friend or my buddy or my teammate or whatever. So he probably pulled this out of the album and wrote "Best Wishes, Walter Johnson," and gave it to somebody, a friend. That's my imagination, and who knows what happened. But, you know, we'll see. I'll do some more research and find out what era this is from. But I wanted to just give you guys a good look at that. The other cards I picked up were, you know, I was able to get this from Mangini. It's a 1933 tattoo orbit of Jimmy Foxx. And I didn't have a Jimmy Foxx card. I mean, I didn't have a tattoo orbit card. So this is my first tattoo orbit. Give you a good look at it. It's a beautifully centered card. I mean, 1933. Really tough card to find. I just love the background on that. Looks like it has, you know, like a wall, kind of like an Art Deco design on these tattoo orbits. It's the R305. You see Jimmy Foxx in the 3. So it's a beautiful card. In the back, again, it says on there, you know, James E. Foxx, infielder. So it's you know, just a nice card. I wanted a tattoo orbit card, and to pick up the Jimmy Foxx was probably one of the best ones in the set there. So that's another one of the baseball pickups that I got. And I also got this Babe Ruth Look and See. Now these are pretty cool. And it's funny how all the cards that I got here are all like different sizes. And that's one of the things about, you know, doing vintage and pre-war and stuff, that they're not all the same, and that kind of is kind of cool. I like that because it shows kind of the history of cards and when they were made. And I'll show you another one here. I get another different size. So I just think that's cool. So anyway, let's get into the Babe Ruth. And the Babe Ruth is the Look and See series, and the Look and See, you know, I thought this one was really nice. Pretty well centered for these cards. And again, this is from 1952, and it's a series that has a lot of different, you know, celebrities and personalities, like, you know, Queen Elizabeth and Rembrandt and, you know, all those kind of people there, Lincoln and stuff. So, but this is the Babe Ruth, and I thought that it was underrated personally. And I think it's because usually PSA, when you have the rough cuts, they don't, they kind of down grade you on it. I think if SGC would have graded that card, I think it'd get more like a 6, at least 1 grade higher, because it's just a clean card, very well centered. It's got the rough cut, but that's the way it is. It's 1952. And in the back, it has, and you can see it just has no chipping on the back here. Usually has a lot of chipping, maybe a tiny bit down here because of the rough cut. But again, SGC is a little more tolerant with that. So it talks about Babe Ruth, and it's one of the famous Americans. So that's another one of my pickups. So the next one I just had flashed through here, and this is a 1922 American Caramel, and that's Adolfo Luque, and he was really the first, you know, big star. There were other players, Cuban players, they came on, you know, like Armando Marsans and things like that, but Adolfo Luque was really like one of the big stars, Adolfo Luque. And this is a 1922 American Caramel, the E120. And this is a very low pop card. And like the American Caramel cards, the American League were printed a little more in a brown color, where the National League are in blue. And you can see how it's blue. So you'll see all the National League cards in this color, in this tint, where the American League will be more. And you know, you saw my Babe Ruth on these, that it's like a brown, beige, you know, like a tan color. So this is Adolfo Luque. You know, I like these cards. That, you know, I'm not a fan of the strip cards. You know, I like try to get photos, and this is one of those that has a little photo on there. So. Nice picture. It's the same picture they used for some of his other cards also. But the back is cool because it talks about all of the players that were on that team. And one of the tougher sets from the 1920s. Really the biggest set from the 1920s, the American Caramel. And that adds on to my Cuban card collection. So I also have football cards, and the big football pickup for me was really one of my top 3 pickups of the show was my Knute Rockne. And picked this up right at the end. I was looking for you know, football-wise, Knute Rockne, the Bronco Nagurski, of course. Kind of 2 biggest cards, really, back pre-war that I'm looking for. And I was able to pick this one up. It's off-centered, but it's just so sharp out of the pack fresh, that I couldn't pass this thing up, and I got a good price on it. Last day of the show, last half hour of the show, really. And Knute Rockne, of course, legend. One of the top cards in pre-war football. Give you a good look at that. All the cards are like that. If you think this is something that's there, or this blue line, they all have that. They're all like that. There is nothing there. There's no paper loss or nothing. That's just how they all are, you see. It's just printed, they're all printed like that. So there's no defects on that at all. So look at the card. I mean, the corners on that thing I mean, I don't think I've ever seen any sharper corners on a 1935 National Chickle than this card here. And I'll do a slow roll. And I showed this to the SGC. The guy was the president of SGC, the owner of SGC, and he said this card is just awesome. He says they're never centered, and just the picture and the sharpness of that, you know. And you know what usually happens in these type of cards is either the front or the back is centered, and in this case the back is perfectly centered. So you see the back of the Bronco Nagurski. I'll give you a chance to read that, but the back is perfectly centered. And again, immortal of all time, college football coach. Give you a good look at that Nagurski card, the back of it here. I mean, the Knute Rockne card. Just like the other, any of those cards from National Chickle were just never in this kind of condition. Straight out of the pack. So, Only reason it was given a 5 is the centering. This could be like an 8 off center or a 9 off center, you know, in the PSA, but just a beautiful card and a classic, you know, really an iconic Grail card for football collectors. And I've been looking for this for a long time, a good copy of it. And when the guy pulled this out of his bag, I just like, wow, had to have it. So that's my Knute Rockne. And my other football cards, just this one here, which is a 1915 Susini. And again, this one kind of ties into both my Cuban collection and my football collection. And these were printed in Cuba in 1915. Imagine, Cuba in 1915, they weren't sure if this was football or rugby because they didn't play football in Cuba. So, but from looking at the picture, it is football because they do have padding. Rugby never had padding at all, especially back in those days. And you see some have actual helmets on. But this is a card from 1915, so this is some type of college game. And you can see it's a football card from 1915, printed in Cuba. Just great scenery. I mean, you know, you could see the blocker over here. You can see this guy running here, and just, you know, just a cool stuff. Remember, back in those old days, 1950, it was mostly rushing. So there weren't many pass plays. And then here's the back of it. And again, it's part of the Susini cards. And I've shown you my a few Susini cards. I have the 1915 Susini, oh God, I just can't remember, the George Washington and Jose Marti and stuff. So, and there it is. It says these were usually put stuck in albums, and this one, thank God, was not. So, my boxing card pickup was this. Tough to find, pretty rare, 1922. Remember Jack Dempsey, the middleweight champion of the world. He started in 1921, so this is kind of a 1922. I think it's a second year Jack Dempsey, and I love it because it's a beautiful photo. It's a Felix Boten, it's a European card, and this is the Celebrity Series, the third series, which from talking to Ryan, he said the third series of Felix Boten is the toughest series to find. And Dempsey is one of the top athletes in that. And this adds to my boxing collection. I just thought it was a beautiful picture. You know, 1922, so I mean, you know, you're talking over 100 years old. So the cards are pretty good shape. It's a good two, but it's just a nice picture of Jack Dempsey there. Give you a good look at that. I just love these old photographs type pictures, you know. You can see him back there in the old time ring. And they have boxe because back in, you know, Europe it's boxing. So, and the back is a blank. These are blank backs. But beautiful addition to my my boxing collection. And then my last ones were my non-sports. And for non-sports, I picked up the two Walt Disney cards that I was looking for. So these are the two Walt Disney. It's the 1931, this is a rookie card, 1931 Wills. And both of them in a 4. Give you a good look at these, and I wanted one of these. Ryan had some of these for sale, so I ended up picking up this 4, which really was beautifully centered. The only thing wrong was a tiny ding in the corner, but other than that, just a beautiful copy of it, beautifully centered there. I looked for all the ones he had and tried to find the one that looked the best as far as grade-wise. I mean, there was a few higher graded, but 4 is good enough for me. And it just presents a lot nicer. So beautiful picture of Walt Disney and Mickey Mouse when he first created Mickey Mouse. And then the next was the portrait of Walt, which really is probably even more beautiful than the other one. And that's the 1936 Mitchell cigarettes. That portrait is gorgeous. I really, really fell in love with this one, and wasn't looking for it, but when I saw it, again in a 4, but it really presents a lot nicer than the 4, and it was beautifully centered, so couldn't pass it up. Add something to my I'll show you the back on that. There's the Gallery of 35, and this one is the Cinema Stars. Again, both clean copies of both. So that's about it, guys. Thought I'd make a short video. It's gone 20 minutes long. I wanted to give you guys another look at my pickups, especially my Walter Johnson. Show you those here, my Walter Johnson and my Willie Mays. Where's my Knute Rockne? Those were my 3 big pickups. The 3 biggest pickups from the National were right here. So I added a little bit of everything. Added to my 50s collection, Hall of Famers, Willie Mays. Added to my pre-war baseball card I never thought I'd have, and added again another kind of pretty nice Grail card for my football. So guys, I've put up 15, I didn't realize I put up 15 different videos already from the National, including my pickups and this one that'll come up too, and 2 shorts. So I've got a total of 17 videos from the National. And my goal was to put at least 15 up, which I've done that. And I think I still have a couple more tables and things that I need to share there. So I'll be putting up some more videos, but I wanted to do this one just to kind of do a quicker, shorter wrap up of my pickups. And it wasn't that short, but thanks for watching. Truly, truly appreciate all you guys commenting and liking and subscribing or whatever if you haven't subscribed. So much appreciated, guys. So thanks for watching. This is Orlando from A Collector's Dream, and I'll catch you on the next one.